there's just an experience that I had on the phone line that I'd like to share with you. That's why we're here today. So I usually do this in my bedroom, close the doors and be quiet, and answer the phones. The phone rang, and I answered it like I normally do. I said, "Good afternoon, Upper Room Prayer Center. How may I help you?" And there was a little voice on the other side that said, What did you say?" And I said, "Well, this is the Upper Room Prayer Center. How may I help you?" And there was silence for about 10 or 15 seconds. Then I'll never forget this voice as long as I live. But a very enthusiastic voice said, "Is this Jesus?" And I had the reaction that I just had right now. I was shocked by her question. I kind of giggled a little bit, and I said, "No, honey, this is not Jesus, but I am Jesus' friend." And so then she asked me my name, and I told her it was Earl. She couldn't pronounce it very well. She told me her name was Brittany, and she was from the state of Illinois. Then she kind of took over the conversation from there, and I'd never had a child call the phone line before, so it was kind of neat even to have that experience. But so then she told me she wanted to pray for her grandma's sister's dad, and I had to repeat that back to her because it sounded kind of odd. But I said, "You want to pray for your grandma's sister's dad?" She said, "Yes. His name is Ralph, and he's not in very good shape." So I said, "I'd be happy to pray with you," and we prayed for a little bit. I can't remember the exact words we said, but we prayed for Ralph, and then prayed for Brittany a little bit. Then she said thank you and hung up, and it was over. And I was still in awe. People that call the line are calling for Jesus, but I've never been mistaken for Jesus before. And so I said another little prayer right then. First was for thanking for Brittany's phone call and for her childlike conviction. Thank you for allowing me to talk to Brittany. I prayed that Brittany would not ever lose that childlike conviction as she grew older. And I prayed that he would keep me humble enough so that when people do call looking for Jesus and they get me on the other line, that they would find him.